your freedom. Join Black Hammer today.
Land back, everybody. Welcome, comrades. Welcome to all the new people and cadre up in here tonight. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in to the 51st Black Hammer Tuesday rally. I'm Chief Through, the Chief of Staff of the Culture Department. I rep the nations of Africa by way of Ethiopia and the Philippines. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be your host this evening. Our theme for tonight is No Justice on Stolen Land. Okay, because we unite with all our fellow colonized people fighting to get their land back, like our Palestinian comrades, our comrades here in Turtle Island, and all over the globe. I know y'all are as ready as I am. Why don't y'all unmute yourselves and give me a roaring land back.
Land back.
Land back. Land back. Land back.
Land back.
Land back, everyone. This is going to be another super life-saving rally. I hope y'all are sharing this live. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I better be seeing y'all up in them comments, okay? And now it is only right that we start this Tuesday rally by introducing our unbeatable organization. So let's get into who we are and what we are about. All right, so we are the Black Hammer organization putting on this weekly Tuesday rally. Okay, we are the baddest, the biggest anti-colonial revolutionary organization in the game. Right? Like you see right on that slide, okay? We are an organization made up of poor and working class colonized people united under 4 principles of unity. We go get into them right now. Principle of unity number 1, we believe the colonized proletariat should have dictatorship over our lives, labor, land, and resources. Principle of unity number 2, we believe all colonized proletariat are equal, no matter gender, sexuality, age, skin tone, body type, location, religion, language, mental or physical differences, and or by multiracial identity. Principle of unity number 3, we believe all the problems the colonized face are from colonialism and the submissive neo-colonialists that are within our colonized nations. Principle unity number 4, we believe that the colonized proletariat is the only true proletariat. Only through our leadership can white power, capitalism, colonialism, imperialism, and all its symptomatic offsprings be smashed. And if you are new and you were wondering who put together these amazing, amazing 4 principles of unity, we have our leadership of the organization, Commander-in-Chief Ghazi, Secretary General Anko, and Minister of Defense Seen. All right, y'all. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed tonight's rally and welcome to the revolution. And before we get started, okay, we are going to get our defense up, okay? I'm gonna pass it off to our Chief of Defense, Chief Sundiata, who's going to hit us with a very super important defense tip, all right? Take it away, Chief.
Land back, and thank you, Chief Through, for the introduction. Yes, I am the Chief of Defense of the Black Hammer organization, and my name is Chief Sundiata. I'm representing the nations of Africa and Turtle Island, and I use he, him, his pronouns. And before we get into this amazing and powerful and significant Tuesday rally, I want to let y'all know, like every week, that if you see any suspicious activity, please let your chapter defender know immediately. We do not tolerate adventurism at all in the Black Hammer organization, and you must be consistently and constantly aware of any suspicious actions that can endanger you, your comrades, and our mission. And when you speak on the Tuesday rally, like I'm doing right here, live on in this case, YouTube, it's going to be assumed that you speak for the entire organization. So I would ask that you please refrain from using any language that may be adventurous, divisive, or that disunites with the stated political line that we just went over. I'd also like to make sure that you're not using your real government name in the Zoom room or disclosing your location at any time during the rally for your own security and privacy. Now, this week, I'm going to take time to stress how important cybersecurity is in this day and age, and push you all to watch our cybersecurity basics presentation, which is going to be sent out in a mass email very shortly for your review. The presentation goes in depth on a number of strategies to make sure that your online presence is more secure. But I want to touch on one strategy today, and that is a VPN. Now, if you don't know, a VPN, or a virtual private network, is a tool that allows your computer, which is a private network, to be utilized as if it was directly connected to and located at the location of other public networks. Meaning that if I had a VPN set to Cuba, for instance, and someone were to attempt to trace my location when I was posting on Facebook, or try to find my IP address in some way, they would find that I was located in Cuba when in reality I may be in Alaska. So this is another important way to sort of mask your presence, keep your own location secure when you're engaging with people online, so you don't get doxxed, so you don't get any kind of harm pulled against you. We recommend two free options, which is Proton VPN first and windscribe.com. That'll be in the email to get started. But of course, there are paid services that offer a bit more extensive protection, and then the ability to tweak your plan and your privacy. But we have to see the informational world of cybersecurity as a priority for our own self-defense and security, and take every step possible to keep ourselves safe. So I ask that you continue to go the distance each and every day, each and every week, with each and every action item to learn how to defend yourself and our comrades better. So I hope y'all enjoy the rally. Land back.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief of Defense Sundiata, for giving us all that critical information and for always keeping us safe. And a huge revolutionary salute to the defense team for keeping us safe as well and doing all that research. I got my VPNs on lock. So y'all listen to our COD, okay, and get on that. Next, y'all better have them phones ready. We got Chief Frederico, Chief of Social Media, who is going to hit us with a super urgent action item. Land back.
Land back, everybody. Yeah, I'm Chief Frederico, Chief of Social Media, and I represent the colonized nation of Puerto Rican, and I use he, they pronouns. And today I come to you with an important announcement to share this rally as much as possible. Get in those Facebook groups that y'all know you love to be in. Get on Instagram, get in those DMs, hit up your crush, get on TikTok, anywhere that you can share this rally, right? And share. And if you share more than 75 times tonight, by the end of tonight, you'll get this amazing shirt from our BHO Bazaar page. I'll just drop in the BHO chat later today to hit me up if you have shared more than 75 times. So get to sharing. Land back.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Frederico, for your dedication, being on the front lines of the anti-colonial struggle on the interwebs. Okay, for those of you that love you messy on social media, we know you out there, because that's how some of y'all got up in here. Okay, we need you up in that social media department ASAP. Okay, let's agitate the masses and get up in here. I know y'all saw that shirt, that dope shirt created by our department over at Visual Propaganda. They're the ones that make the cool ass signs that we put on all of our clothes. You see what I'm saying? So yes, get to sharing this link 75 times and you got yourself a shirt. All right, now y'all know we can't have agitation without propaganda. Up next is one of the most important segments of this agenda. It's time to dive deep into some political education, or PE for short, okay? Political education is a tool that we use to inspire the masses to join this fight, and is the tool that we use to constantly steel ourselves and each other so that we can be the best revolutionaries we were born to be, okay? It's what proves to our people that the power lies within all colonized people and that there is nothing that will beat our unity. Tonight, reading this piece is our very own Chief of Curriculum, Chief Oju. Land back.
Land back, everybody. As Chief Thru said, my name is Chief Oju. I represent the nations of Africa and Puerto Rican, otherwise known by its colonial name as Puerto Rico. I use he, him pronouns, and yes, I am the Chief of Curriculum at Black Hammer, which is the department responsible for the political education of our comrades, of our people, and of you in this rally. And so today, as in every other Black Hammer meeting, we have political education, and our political education today comes from our very own Black Hammer Times, which is the biggest, baddest anti-colonial news source out there, ready to tell you the news, how it is and how it relates to you, how it relates to your actual conditions. And so today, when we're talking about no justice on stolen land, we are talking about all the places that have been colonized across the world, including Palestine. And so we are going to read today from our own Black Hammer Times, "From the River to the Sea, Colonized Unity Will Set Palestine Free," by our very own Black Hammer Times staff. And if you are interested in talking this political education, you can drop an X after this is finished and you get to speak on your questions or comments on this political education, all right? So it gets started. The ongoing genocide of Palestinians and the recent attacks from devil colonizer Jews have been seen around the world, and the colonized masses of the world are standing in unity with their fellow colonized siblings in Palestine. There are currently over 130 countries that recognize Palestine as a sovereign state, which just goes to show how Israel is finally being seen for the illegal settler colony that it is by more than just the Palestinians themselves, but by other colonized nations who are struggling against the evils of colonialism as well. Israel has been ramping up its genocide against the indigenous Palestinian people of the land as they continue to launch airstrikes, killing children, mothers, and fathers alike, backed, of course, by their father colony, America, the United Snakes of America, who continues to send its stolen resources to Israel so that they can continue to pillage, loot, and steal everything they can from the land. All of the violence doesn't come without consequence as the colonized masses continue to rise up and realize their leadership as the true agents of change. Protest and unity with the Palestinian struggle against colonialism have erupted in Africa, from Morocco and Kenya, all the way down south of the continent in Tanzania, known by its colonial name as South Africa. This beautiful showing of colonized unity only speaks to how our struggles as a colonized people all over the world are connected in every shape, way, and form. Both Cape Town and Nairobi have been showing this unity with threats of being locked up despite protesting peacefully. Quote, "It reminds us of the brutality of police of the apartheid system that we have used to have," said 56-year-old Kashifa Ashmat from Tanzania. Apartheid only ended in 1992 in the country, so the injustice is still fresh in many people's minds. Even though it's officially over, the minority white colonizers still own most of Tanzania's land and resources. One Palestinian protest method called BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions, was inspired by the boycotts of South African Tanzanian products, which brought down the apartheid regime. Those in West Asia, the Middle East, have of course shown their unity with their Palestinian siblings with protests in Karachi, Pakistan, taking place as protesters burned the American and Israeli flag. Iran, an ally to anti-colonial movements worldwide, has been standing for the cause since 1979, and this year was no exception. Hezbollah in Lebanon, too, has a long history of supporting Palestine. All of these protests around the world prove the fact that colonized unity is our sharpest and perhaps most important weapon against colonialism, as more and more people recognize the common oppressor we all face: white power and its sellouts that allow for the suffering in our colonized nations to continue. We must channel this rage into organizing against the oppressor to build a world where no one lives at the expense of another, a world that the colonized masses are beginning to crave more each day. If you would like to take part in the construction of this world, unite with your Palestinian siblings instead of standing in solidarity with them. To take part in the destruction of colonial states like Israel, America, and all other colonized nations that continue their legacy of genocide and savagery. Join us and be the change the world and your community needs. Continue the legacy of your ancestors in the fight against colonialism to claim what is rightfully yours: land back. This political education shows us that no matter what the colonizer looks like, no matter what the colonizer practices, no matter what they do, they are a colonizer. They are stealing the resources of our lands around the world. Colonized people make up about 90% of this world, and that small population of colonizers dares to say that our resources belong to them, that our land belongs to them. And what we say in unity with our Palestinian siblings and family is that no matter who you are, colonizer, no matter what religion you are, no matter what sexuality you are, no matter what gender you are, no matter what you are, you're a colonizer and you're stealing, and you have access to stealing. And you are no longer going to do that once we are united. And so when we stand in unity with our Palestinian siblings, you must remember that. You must remember that, because there is no justice on stolen land. There is no compromise on stolen land. That ceasefire was not a reflection of some moral judgment or moral standing on the part of the colonizer. It was just a means of making the colonized nations calm down, because they're seeing how much we're resisting and how much we're rising up and how much we're winning. And so stand in unity with your Palestinian siblings, just as they stand in unity with their African siblings around the world, just as they stand in unity with their indigenous siblings around the world, with their Asian siblings around the world. So if you would like to speak on this political education, you could drop an X in the chat. Once you drop an X in the chat, you will have at most 2 minutes to speak. And at the end of the 2 minutes, you will hear a thing, or we'll let you know that you hit that 2 minutes. And we will move on to the next speaker. If you are interested in political education and want to help with the political education of the masses and our comrades, join the curriculum department. The curriculum department is the place for that. We put on the book chat, we put on all these political educations. You can email us at bhcurriculum@protonmail.com. So we are going to get into those X's. First, we got Chief True. Go ahead, Chief True.
Land back. So you know, the conflict between Israel and Palestine has been going on for quite a while. I'm glad that we have a revolution that's going on to combat just such a thing. Our chapter in particular, NC, has been going out and protesting on behalf of Palestine. And this is an example for us. This is a case study for us to look at what exactly is happening when we colonialize. Because, you know, a lot of us hear about it during like social studies class or history class, and it's whitewashed, and we think about colonialism as a happy thing where the white people came here and ate turkey with the apologize, self-critical, with the Native Americans. But in this case, we get to see literally, for example, I'm sure many of you have seen the video where there's a Palestinian woman who is defending her land against Israelis or Jews or Polish people, wherever the fuck they come from these colonizers, and you get to see colonialization happening on in real time, and you get to see what it looks like when people are literally stealing their land. And so 100%, I think it's extremely imperative to our movement to show that we stand on behalf of Palestine, and that we will not allow this colonization of their land to happen from the people from the Caucasus Mountains that have come to pervert their practices and their culture and their relation with the land, and tear gas their people, their women, their children in terrible ways on behalf of capitalism and the United States, which has funded them. We 100% need to be united with Palestine, and I greatly appreciate this PE for bringing light to that. Land back.
Land back. Thank you for that, Chief True. Yes, we have to stand in unity because we're seeing that same colonial violence even here in the United States, right? It's the same connection. All right. Next, we got Chief Jabe. Go ahead, Jabe.
Land back. Yeah, this was a really, really important PE. Like, I can't, yeah, it's just so, intense, like the feelings that this conflict is, I mean, not even conflict, but like, this occupation that has been going on. Like, I remember when I first learned about it, it was just such a, stark, just violence. And I just couldn't imagine, like how people were defending it, defending, the settler state, and, maligning all of these colonized people, and yeah, and then more recently finding out just how much, this state doesn't just terrorize and, occupy the colonized nation of Palestine, but also helps to like work against colonized unity in so many other areas, and even in my own nation in Colombia, they are the IDF is constantly training people to attack African and indigenous people, very, very similar, if not the exact same as Palestine. And so it's just very intense how, this conflict and this attack has always been like, been here for like, a force against all colonized people. So, I really appreciate this PE and how it unites colonized people against, all of these settler states. I'm back.
I'm back. Yes, our very own Black Hammer Times laying it out correctly. There is only one side that is on the right side of history. And that is the side of the colonized people, of the Palestinian people. Chief Teray, go ahead.
Land back. I am so thankful to be in an organization that stands in 100, doesn't just like stand with 100% solidarity with the Palestinian people, but is unabashedly just like uniting that struggle with the rest of like the colonized world. Like for many of us, the occupation of Palestine was our entry into this anti-colonial consciousness. And part of that is because of how clearly this colonial contradiction, what we know is the root of all violence, of all evils in this world, come from that primary contradiction of colonizers genociding us to take our lands and our resources and to steal our labor. Of how clearly that's happening in Palestine, but also because of just as much the clarity of the moral victory that Palestine will reap in their lands. How scared the settlers are of even just the mere presence, and how fragile isn't real looks in the face of colonized resistance, of organization, and how that makes like the parent of Isn't Real, the United Snakes of America, of how fragile it makes, how connected they are, and just how fragile the empire actually is when you push back a little. Because they are trying to make it look like the empire is not falling, that everything is not just stable, but growing, is powerful, is never ending. Like CNN was showcasing, like, had this video, like they were trying to broadcast like 2 days ago, saying that the occupation of Palestine could be resolved through appealing to the morals of colonizers, of these beasts, as opposed to it's just to quell the fear of viewers saying that, oh yeah, we have so much more technology than them. We have so much more, like we have sitting on this pile of stolen resources. We have all of these things. We have a colonial state apparatus to protect you, and the empire will not fall. When Hamas could put Israel on the defensive, made them look like the paper tiger that they actually are. Like that is why Palestine resonates with colonized people all around the world, because of how clearly there will be victory in Palestine, how they will take their land back, just like colonized people everywhere around this world will take their land back. That's what I gotta say. Land back.
Land back, and right on time too. Yes, Israel can't hide the fact that it is a crumbling empire, just like as the United States can't hide the fact that it's a crumbling empire. They are no longer able to withhold the sway they have on our people or even their own people. Chief Suh, go ahead.
Land back. So yeah, like Chief Teray said, it's so important that we as an organization stand in like 100% unequivocal, unwavering unity but the Palestinian masses struggle for self-determination on their own land. And it's so important that it's not solidarity, but unity, because we see the Palestinian struggle, all of us as colonized people see the Palestinian struggle as our own, because we see it as a key in the worldwide revolutionary struggle against colonialism, the greatest evil to ever plague mankind in the history of the world. And so we know that Israel does not exist. It is all Palestine. Israel is an illegitimate settler colonial state built on the genocide of Palestinian people. And no two-state solution is legitimate. No reform is going to fix this. No voting is going to fix this. They signed this ceasefire, and now they're trying to purport it like that is justice. That is not justice. It was a crime when they stepped on that land, and that crime will not be overturned until they step off of that land. And it's land back that links all of us. That's why the Palestinian struggle, like Chief Teray said, is such a cornerstone in the worldwide global anti-colonial struggle, because that is something that links all of us as colonized people together. That's why we're all here. Whether our land has been ripped from us, we have been ripped from our land has been looted for its resources, and puppet leaders have been installed there to continue that looting at our own expense, sold out for our own blood by our own people, those neo-colonial petty blue sellouts. Like, that links all of us. And we saw all over the world these protests, Iran, Iraq, and Tanzania, all over Africa, Colombia, all over Pachamama, and every major city in the US and UK. And like, imagine if we all united, not just to protest, but to fight. Like, we would be free to build power, and we will be free, because that's what we're doing here. But it's important to not just let it die out. You know, there were a lot of protests because it was Nakba, right? And then there were a lot of protests because it was, on the media. But yeah, land back, it's just important to organize, and Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. Every grain of sand, every molecule of water and air from the river to the sea, it's all Palestine. Every inch will be returned. Land back.
Land back from the river to the sea. All right, land back. So we are going to take a couple more comments before we move it. So we have Comrade Tate. Remember, we have at most 2 minutes. You don't have to use the full time, but yeah, at most 2 minutes. Go ahead, Comrade Tate.
Hey, land back. I'm Tate, repping the African Nation and Lakota Nation. I use they, them pronouns. And I think that the Palestinian, one sec. There we go. Okay. I just really unite with this PE. I think the Palestinian people's struggle is a great example of colonized unity, and is a great example of how decolonization isn't a metaphor like a lot of these liberals like to talk about it like it is. Like, decolonization, as you can see with the Palestinian struggle, is about organizing with your people, getting to know your people, organizing the power of your people, and smashing white power. That is all it is. It is not it's not starting a book club. It's not like, making a Facebook post. It's building power and smashing white power. And that's what decolonization is. And that's what the Palestinian people are doing with colonized people around the world. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. Hopefully in our lifetime, we get to, Palestinians get to come home, have tea in their home country. And yeah, land back, free Palestine.
Land back. Well said, Comrade Tate. Yes. And last, we will have Chief T. Go ahead, Chief T.
I'm back. Yeah, I just really want to unite with everything that's already been said by my comrades. And yeah, like, that is really true that the occupation of Palestine is an issue that makes like colonialism so just like evident to us. And I think like for a lot of us, like, because colonialism has been like going on in our lands for so long, like it's become normalized. But in Palestine, they've been around for like only like 70 years. So the line is like the line is set in stone. It's like really clear. There's no mistaking who is the colonizer and who is the colonized, who is the oppressor and who is the oppressed. And yeah, and it is like really, even for me, like an issue that really helped me understand like the unity of like the global like colonizer and like neo-colonial class. Like understanding that Israel was really like made by like Britain and then backed up by the United States. And then just the fact that Israel has connections with, you know, colonial and neo-colonial regimes like all over the planet, even in my own country, India, like India is the largest buyer of Israel's weapons and routinely trains with the Israeli military so that they can oppress like our own like indigenous people. Like the occupation of Kashmir is very much like inspired from the way Israel occupies Palestine. And like they really exchange information. What that tells us is that we, the colonized, also have to be united in a similar fashion, if not even more than that, in order to fight this evil. Because yeah, like Palestine is really, it just shows us like how important colonized unity is. Like even right now, you know, the victories that we see in this struggle, like they come from colonized unity. They come from Iran standing up for them. It comes from, you know, Cuba standing up for them. It comes from like all the assistance that they have gotten from all these colonized countries. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Colonized unity is it.
Ooh, land back, yes, colonized unity is it. If you want to help our masters understand that, join the curriculum department and email bhcurriculum@protonmail.com. Otherwise, I'm going to send it back to our host, Chief Through. Go ahead, Chief Through.
Land back. Thank you, Chief Oju, for leading that PE segment for us. And thank you so much to all of the people that participated in that discussion. And like Chief Oju said, if you have a passion for political education, join the culture department, y'all. All right, let's continue sharing this live. All right, 75 times. Somebody go get that shirt. Shout out to Chief Gunn and Chief Uchi for creating it, okay? So not only are we creating dope ass clothes, creating unity with all of our colonized people all over the world to get our land back, right? We know that it's important that to do this revolutionary work, we got to take care of our body and our minds. Okay, so giving us this week's self-defense and workout schedule for the week is Chief of Defense Training's Chief Evie. Land back.
Land back, everyone. My name is Chief Evie. I represent the colonized nation of Africa, the Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the indigenous people of Turtle Island. And my pronouns are they and she. And today we're going to talk about the wide array of workouts we have for you here at Black Hammer. So let's go ahead and get started. Tomorrow, we have First Aid and Survival with Coach Rohan at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. In this class, we're actually going to be focusing on CPR and resuscitation, as well as how to use like certain tools to help aid in this. So make sure you drop in if you like want to learn how to literally save a life. Thursday, we have Strength and Endurance with Coach Kamal at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to learn how to like really work your body like with your own strengths, because like, you know, not everyone like builds muscle the same way and stuff like that. This can really like help you like get a good base and also prepare you for all of our other martial workouts that we offer. Next slide. Friday, we have mandatory outreach training with the Chief of Defense, Sundiata, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Please keep in mind, this is, mandatory if you want to go out for outreach this weekend. So make sure your defenders are in here and make sure your chappers are in here. We always have like, you know, new information that we're always like looking up and researching just for y'all. So make the time and make sure y'all are there. Land back, next slide. Also Friday, we have boxing classes with Comrade Phoenix at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a nighttime class, so it's, you know, it's pretty strenuous, but it'll also make you sleep really good, you know what I'm saying? Also, you get to build up hand speed and combos so you can punch with confidence. Land back, next slide. Saturday, you have bat training with myself, Chief Evie, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This is also mandatory for outreach, so make sure you stop by and learn how to protect yourself with a stick, or in our case, a baseball bat. A baseball bat is a very, very versatile instrument, and there are many ways to protect yourself as well as others while you're on outreach. Land back, next slide. Saturday, we have Serene Saturdays with Chief Tiana at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come chill out, come relax. We talk about anxiety, depression, and just, other things that really plague colonized people as we just have had to live our lives in the colony. And so we all to share it out and really, really just heal together. So stop by and just really talk about what's on your mind. Next slide. And Sunday, we have stretching and meditation with Chief Yahweh at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the end of the week, and you just want to relax because you've been so busy doing action items and all these other workouts. So what better way to relax than to get this meditation that'll help you sleep, as well as these stretching for specific body groups or body part groups. But yes, make sure you join us for that as well. Next slide. Monday, strategic striking with Chief Tupac at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's good to know how to punch and how to kick, but you have to know when to punch, when to kick, how best to use your body, what your opponent's doing, and so much more. We talk about this in this class. It's a really, really, really fun class. And it's great if you just want to not only know how to do your combos, but also learn how to think with your brain. Tuesday, we get your second helping of strength and endurance with Coach Kamal at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time. It's your second time going to get that second degree burn, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead and stop by in this class. We always work very, very closely each time, they're very, very different. So one class you'll be focusing on, say, your legs, and the other day you'll be focusing on your core instead. So there's plenty of variety for you here. Next slide. Oh, was that all of them? Oh, join Black Hammer today. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Land back. Yes, I hope to see y'all at all those classes, okay? And for those of you that want access, again, join us right now, blackhammer.org/join. All right, everyone, is you ready for what we got next? Because let it be known that what we are in for is another special breakdown of no justice on stolen land with our one, our only Commander-in-Chief, Ghazi Kodzo, with the State of the Hammer.
It's Admiral Shagun to introduce the one and only Land Back, y'all. Y'all know who I'm about to introduce. Y'all know who everybody in the room is waiting for. Y'all know who's been organizing us for the past 2 years to win victory for colonized people worldwide. There is only one revolutionary, anti-colonial commander-in-chief out here, fearlessly attacking white power isn't real and holding no punches. There is only one revolutionary, anti-colonial commander-in-chief out here exposing the rape of Palestine and spitting fire with ruthless force at all symbols of white imperialist innocence. There is only one revolutionary anti-colonial commander-in-chief out here uniting colonized masses from Palestine to Turtle Island, from Africa to so-called New Zealand under the single banner of anti-colonial revolution. And y'all know who that is. Y'all know who you about to come and see. It's our revolutionary anti-colonial commander-in-chief, Ghazi Kodzo!
Land back, everybody, land back. Land back, everybody, land back. Land back, everybody, land back. Land back, my beautiful hammers, supporters, and the haters there. Ooh, she just got more security. You feel me? You feel me? She a hot topic, so that, security is important. It's very necessary. Ain't it necessary, Shagun?
It's necessary.
It's very necessary. It's very necessary. Thank you so much, Shagun. Come here. Come here. Thank you so much for that great introduction.
Of course,
it's good to have a friend indeed.
Yeah.
Love you so much. Love you, comrade.
I love you too.
Land back, everybody. about Palestine. So we talking about Isn't Real. Shout out to Chief Son for creating Isn't Real. A lot of these cracker leftists try to steal from my child, from my son, daughter. You can't steal from my son, daughter. Okay? So my son, daughter created Isn't Real, and if everybody else did, F them. Anyways, shout out. We're gonna get that LLC, little C tag, whatever that thing is, right? Copyrighted. We gotta talk about it though. You feel me? Because you be seeing it on the CNN, you be seeing it on the Channel 9 News, you be seeing it on USA Today. Anyway, but we really need to talk about what it really is, because people calling it a conflict. Some people even calling it a genocide. I say both is incorrect. You got to really get to the core of what is going on over there. Take it down there. Okay, but Black Hammer understands that it is colonialism. It is colonialism. And you're not gonna get the truth from colonial media. You're not gonna get the truth from Colonial Joe. You're not gonna get the truth from neo-colonial cop Mala Harris. I mean, you can't even get them to tell you the facts that they stole this election. So how are they supposed to tell you about Isn't Real? And you sure as hell not gonna get it from the colonizer left, okay? Because the colonizer left is not gonna expose the colonialism over there, because then it's gonna ask them what is going over here. Similarities. White Jews over there stealing, destroying the land over there. White Christians over here, destroying, stealing over here. And who are you? White leftists. But let's talk about history. Mama gonna give y'all some history. Gotta get the titties ready. Yeah. They shrunk a little, but she about to get bigger. Thank you for the donations. So now that we broke down, for y'all that are new here to Black Hammer, and y'all don't know what colonialism is. Colonialism is when a foreign or alien nation has dictatorship over your land, lives, labor, and resources. And if you are not white and you are living on the planet called Earth, you are colonized. And the white nation has dictatorship over your land, lives, labor, and resources. It do. And this system came into being because crackers 600 years ago was dealing with, when I said like 1455, was dealing with the Black Plague. Y'all heard of the Black Plague? When crackers, they weren't washing their ass, they was eating each other, eating rats, humping dogs, the same stuff they do now, walking into gas stations barefoot. And so they had this Black Plague that took out a third of their population. And if you know anything about a plague, you should know a plague is not good for the economy. We living in a plague right now, the coronavirus, and the coronavirus has not taken out a third of the United States of America population, but it has taken out more than a third of its economy. So you can only imagine what the Black Plague did to Europe when it took a third of their population. Their economy was gone. It was gone. And they were poor. And they needed to liberate themselves out of this poorness, this poverty. They were dying. And they decided, the Vatican, Spain, and the Portuguese came together and decided that they want to go around the world and colonize African and colonize people all over the world. All over the world. That's what they decided. And so Europe became, it wasn't even called Europe back then, it was called Christendom. They didn't have a uniting force. They were fighting and killing each other all the time. All the time they were fighting and killing each other. But then they decided, hey, let's stop being barbarians to each other. And let's be barbarians to these Black and brown people and yellow people and red people all over the world, steal their shit and bring it in here in Europe. And that's why today, everywhere is poor, destroyed, dilapidated. But Europe and these settler colonial nations, America, Canada, Australia, Israel, rich bitch. How? Because they steal from you. If you learn nothing from coming here, colonized person, know you're getting your ass robbed every day. Okay, now let's get to the history of things, okay? let's talk about the creation of Is It Real? Because I ain't heard not one bitch tell the story right. But this the bitch that gonna tell the story right. Because you know her La Boca crazy. Her La Boca tell the truth. Ain't that right, son, daughter Sotomar? Ain't that right, daughter Through? Ain't that right, son, Ojo? Mother La Boca crazy. Shout out to Sergeant Bear. You're not giving shout outs, you know what I mean? Make you feel good. Listen, y'all. So what had happened was World War I, okay? Great Britain was going to war with Germany at that time. The Ottoman Empire stepped in, and Great Britain, and they was fighting, right? Now, at this time, in this World War I, right, the Great Britain side started to lose, and they was very worried because they was losing. They didn't have enough money, and they didn't see having enough soldiers to win this war. You see? So there was a problem there, a contradiction. So Britain said, how do we solve this contradiction? And, oh, look, I'm gonna pause there. We're gonna rewind, because right now we're around 1914. Let's rewind to 1760s. There was a Jewish family that one of the members of the family just became a mayor in Germany. The Rothschild. Have you heard about the Rothschilds, babies? Say we heard about them if you heard about these cave beasts, the Rothschilds. So the Rothschilds created an international bank in the 1760s. And this made the Rothschilds a new and ushering bourgeoisie. And they were over the banking of all the loot that was being stolen across the world from us, colonized people. Ooh, history, love it. All right, follow me. So now we fast forward to 1914 again, where we left you off in the story, where the United Kingdom was worried about losing World War I, and they was running out of resources and artillery in them. And so they hit up a Rothschild. I believe his name was Walter. Let me look at my notes. Let mama look at her notes. Mama needs to look at her notes. Yes, it was like Walter Rothschild. I believe that's what the cracker name is. You know, a cracker's a cracker. So this Rothschild, he was a baron. And in 1914, you know, he met with Britain and said, listen, I can help you get out of this rut, but you're gonna have to give me something. He said, I can give you money because I got all of it, right? Because the banking is controlled by him. And he said, I can also get America in this war for you. Oh, yes, he did. And Great Britain said, okay, that sounds good, right? You're gonna give us money, Rothschild, and you gonna give us America to step into World War I. Okay, what we gotta do? And the Rothschild said, give me a nation. And I want that nation in Palestine. I want Palestine, which was right at this time part of the Ottoman Empire. And Great Britain said, okay, when we win this war, that's what we will give to you. Because you see, it was a sector of the white ruling class, the Jewish white ruling class, that wanted their own nation. They wanted to get all up into this colonial exploitation of the world. You understand? And that's where the Balfour Declaration came. The Balfour Declaration, look it up, 1914, okay? And it has Mr. Rothschild's name right there, Baron Cracker Savage Rothschild. And so these white men in Europe, in England, who ain't never been to this region of the world, decided what was going to happen with this region of the world. Does it sound similar African? Because Africa was diced up into 54 different countries in Europe, not in Africa. There was not a nigger in the room when they diced us up. All these states, America is named after a white man. Ain't no indigenous person of Turtle Island was in that meeting either. That is the creation of Isn't Real. That is its birth story, its origin story. Exploitation. And that's why, even today, you can look it up. The Rothschilds own 80% of Israel. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? The white ruling class plays us like animals and pawns and deals that they get to write it in and out of existence. Whew. So now we have isn't real. And isn't real is very important to the United States of America because after World War II, America was now the new chieftain of imperialism. And it wanted the Middle East, right? Britain and Europe, they had Africa, right? They had South America. And now America was like, nah, I want the Middle East. I want Africa. I want South America. I want the world. And that's why America has like 800 dang bases all over the world, controlling that, maintaining that control. And America said, this Middle East thing, though, is fiery. They fighting back, they all rowdy. So we need to create a settler colonial nation up in there. That's what they do. That's what they do. They did the same thing in Africa with Rhodesia. Same thing in Africa with South Africa. They create settler colonial nations and put white people in there who don't have the same material interest to the people or the land, but they have a material interest to colonialism. And that's what makes them white. So even when they're living amongst you, they ain't you. Shabbat. Give them the glory. Woo! Let's talk about it. America needs isn't real because America needs a colonial settler white power nation in the Middle East to terrorize them and destroy any time that they want to rise up and practice self-determination. And that's what Isn't Real does. That's why Isn't Real assassinated Iranian leaders. That's why Isn't Real assassinated Palestinian leaders. That's why Isn't Real punked Egypt into acting like a goddamn pet now. Who she talking? Who she talking? Because Egypt wasn't always a bitch. The people of Egypt used to run Egypt, and Egypt used to be on the side of the Palestinians. But Israel turned Egypt into a bitch, into a neo-colonial state apparatus that needs to be overturned immediately. Immediately. So America has Isn't Real there because America has that military base, and it's a military base. It is not a country, a nation, a home. It is a military base. That's why as soon as your balls drop or your poom poom bleed in a month, you got to sign up and join the Isn't Real military. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. As soon as you even start to example of an adult, they put a gun in your hand, a military helmet on you, and tell you, go kill some Palestinians. It isn't real. Yes, because it's a military base. And that is what they do. And that is why it has grown consistently. It has grown consistently. So Isn't Real is not about the Holocaust, okay? Because that don't make no sense. Because if you mad at somebody, take half of Germany, you bitch ass niggas. Why are you messing with Palestinians? Palestinians didn't put your ass in the oven. They should now. Shit. They should now. They should now. They should now. I said it, because I'm tired of not hearing it. Unity. I'm tired of not hearing it. They should put your asses in ovens now. For the hell you have brought those innocent, beautiful people. And you continue to bring to them today. And Palestinians aren't just Arab people. There's also Africans that are part of Palestine too. This is a colonial contradiction, so it is a problem for all colonized people. For all colonized people. They drone and kill Palestinian children playing in the sands and beaches and soccer. This ain't about no damn Holocaust. This ain't no damn religion either. This ain't no Jews versus Muslims. There's Palestinian Jews, just so you know. Just so you know that they are killing. Isn't Real is just as much about Judaism as America is about Christianity.
Oh, they'll say they're doing it for their God and manifest destiny, but they're doing it to steal and loot because white people don't know how to sustain their own life without oppressing others, because they've been doing this for almost 1,000 years to us. Whew. Let me calm down. So Isn't Real has been evil incarnate since its existence. Since its existence, it has introduced tanks and bombs and jets into the contradiction, into the land, onto the people. Literally, the first days of the existence of Isn't Real is tanks literally pushing Palestinian families into the ocean to drown and die. And they were shooting at them. So they had to make a decision. Imagine having to make a decision. Do I die by gunfire with my child, or do we die by drowning? That is Israel's freaking origin story. That. Two-state for what? Two-state for what? And then they chopped up Palestine into all these little pieces and surround Palestine. So Palestinians can't leave when they want to, or go anywhere, even to other pieces of that Palestine exists in, without Isn't Real telling them if they can or not. And that's why they created these tunnels that you in colonial media land want to believe that these tunnels are for terrorist activities. The tunnels actually connect Palestinian families to each other. Go look at the map of Palestine. The pieces are all separated. Those pieces have people in them and family members in them. So when they're bombing those tunnels, they're not doing it as self-defense, they're doing it as a form of genocide to separate them from each other. This is the hell. This is the open air prison called Gaza. Which has left the Palestinian people with 8% of the land that they once had, and decreasing every day. Except for recently. Except for recently. There was a resistance that just occurred. See, they're not even telling you how the resistance started. The resistance started because Isn't Real's economy is falling apart, just like all these other white nations during this economic crisis of the world. And so a lot of these white Jews, fake white Jews, they could not afford their rent and their mortgages anymore. So the Isn't Real government, instead of telling the other white landlords, hey, let them stay, let them not pay their rent and their mortgage, instead of doing that, because the banks are all owned by the Rothschilds like, nah, fuck that. They said, go into these Palestinian communities and have at it. Take their homes, take their cars, take their money, take their clothes, do whatever you want, even take their children, even rape their girls. They're not talking about that on CNN, are they? So these broke ass fake white Jews went into Palestinian communities and started taking. And anytime a Palestinian tried to fight back, they were shot and killed by the Isn't Real military. And this was a project that was supposed to happen peacefully. Peacefully meaning the fake white Jews were not going to get hurt. But the Palestinian people rose up and fought back and said, hell no. They said, hell no. And they fought back, and this fight back started to increase. And then Hamas entered the chat. And I want to talk real quick about Hamas, because people want to call Hamas a terrorist organization. Hamas was actually an electoral party in Palestine. But in 2006, they won an election. And when they won this election for their president, who said that he was going to represent the people, Isn't Real, assassinated their leaders
and then titles this political party as terrorist and illegitimate to run for office amongst their own people. That's who Hamas is, just so you know. Just so you know. Yeah, could you imagine having a whole election, voting someone in, and then Israel coming in and killing that person and killing anyone else who's part of that party after having an election? That's what the people of Palestine have to deal with. That's what they have to deal with. But the people rose up. Palestinian people rose up in Israel, and Palestinian people rose up in Palestine, and they fought back. And for the first time in a long time, the people of Palestine started to win territory. There was parts of Israel that even to this day became ungovernable by Israel. They were winning. I know you don't hear that a lot because you hear these, these liberals and leftists being like, so many of the Palestinian people are dying, which is true. But also know this, white people lie. And I don't know about them numbers, 11 died here, 200 died here. Hamas was fighting back and Hamas was winning territory. And you don't win that much territory with just killing 11 people. And if you believe that I'm lying, you should look at the numbers of the Vietnam War that was proven that America was lying about how many they were killing versus how many of them were getting killed. You should look at the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War where they lied about, only a few of our soldiers are dying, but it was a bunch and now they lost. And they had to leave with like cowards with their tail between their legs from Iraq and Afghanistan. And now the Taliban is running the shit. And so the whole world, during this resistance, the whole world rose up in unity with Palestine. And that was a problem. I ain't even never seen it before that vigorous, that the people of the world rose up and said, free Palestine from the river to the sea, end isn't real, delete isn't real, cancel isn't real. It was all over the place. Even Marvel actors started saying it because they thought it was the wave. But the American government didn't say that. Europe didn't say that. Australia and Canada didn't say that because they can't say stop colonialism because they're colonizers too. And the white left didn't say stop colonialism because then if the white left of America say stop colonialism, then where you gotta go, cracker? But Black Hammer said it. Black Hammer said it. And I wanna say something else Black Hammer's saying, because I hear leftists and liberals and people saying, ceasefire, we need a ceasefire. Black Hammer don't say ceasefire. We say mo fire. Black Hammer don't say ceasefire. We say mo fire. We say to the people of Palestine, rise up and fight because you were about to win and you still can win. We say raise hell until victory. And I'm not saying this as someone that just wants to see bloodshed and stuff. I'm a scientist and I scientifically see that this is the time for the people of Palestine to be free. How do I see this? How do I see this? I see this because their military is weak. You know how I can say Israel's military is weak? Because America can't fund them like before. America only gave them like $500 million. That's nothing in a war. America usually gives them 30 billion, 40 billion, like nothing. But America can't do that no more because America's broke. America can't even give itself 30 billion, child. And if you didn't know, Israel's military is America. Israel doesn't have a military. Israel is a bitch ass, fake white Jew ass nerd with a big bully friend, America, that does everything for them. Those planes, America. The bullets and guns, America. Even their uniforms, America. And they would be nothing without her. And she is falling apart. So that makes Israel very weak. And that's why they were losing so much territory. So I say more fire. I say more fire. Because Israel is split. And when your enemy is split, that's when you fight them. Because a divided house cannot stand. Oh yes, Israel is split. They have had to go through 5 elections for their prime minister and still to this day have not decided who their prime minister is. They're split. They don't even have a prime minister. They have 2 prime ministers. They have a government that has not moved for these 5 elections because they have not configured a government. That's when you whoop a bitch ass. That's when you beat a bitch up. That's when you say more fire, when they're divided. Whew. America's divided too. Insurgencies. Rigged elections. White nationalists attacking the White House. It's the time to rise up. Our people knew it in the 60s, but it's even more divided now. I also say more fire because Is It Real is surrounded by over 20 Arab nations that is filled with people that hate Is It Real, that hate Is It Real, that hates them fake white Jews, that hates those colonizers, that hates that white nationalist colonizer state. And I say, rise up, Palestine, rise up, Iran, rise up, Afghanistan, rise up, Iraq, rise up the entire Middle East, rise up the people of Egypt, and march to Is It Real, and push them in the sea, goddamn. Push the monsters into the sea, like they did your people. I say, rise up, Africa, because Is It Real is up in Africa shit, and march them into the sea. I say rise up Asia, because Is It Real is in Asia shit, and march them into the sea. And we must do it for all these white nationalist colonizer nations around the world. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. And I know it's not going to be easy, but I know damn well it's going to be worth it. Land back, land back, land back. But before I go, I got to give you some music. And I want to say, Chief Dio, come give us some music, give us some encouragement to rise up and rip colonialism off of the face of the earth in unity with our Palestinian siblings. Land back.
We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. For him was just the masses who fell down, but we didn't stay there and got up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Oh, for him just the masses who fell down. But we didn't stay there and got up. So get back up again. Get back up again. Get back up again. Get back up again. For him was just the masses who fell down. But we didn't stay there and got up. Get back up again. Oh, I know it's hard. Oh, you have your rough days. Also, we have victories. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, we're almost there. For him was just the masses who fell down. But we didn't stay there and got up. Land back. Land back, everybody. Oh my God, I'm in tears. I know I can't be the only one. Chief Dial, that voice, it just fills me up with so much hope and so much love and so much fire. What's better than revolutionary gospel? I can't think of anything. And CIC always begin this lit. More fire to Is It Real? It's time to rise up. The time is now, y'all. The time is now. I can't be the only one fired up as well. Let me get fired up in them comments right now. Go in them YouTube comments and type hashtag fired up. Thank you so much, Commander. Thank you so much, Chief Dio, for always taking us to the front lines, ready to take on white power dead on, y'all. And now it's time to get closer and closer to that sweet liberation. Let's raise some funds to get us to Hammer City with Chief T, Chief of Economic Development. Let's get these coins, Chief.
Lamb back, everyone. Can everyone hear me? All right. Wow, that was an amazing, like Chief Dio's voice, that sermon. I'm just so, I'm blown away. I have nothing to say, like no thoughts, head empty. That was amazing. But yes, I am Chief T, Chief of International Economic Development. I represent the colonized nation of India, pronouns he, him, and they, them. And I'm here once again, raising money for Hammer City, Black Hammer's biggest project, a city without cops, without rent, without coronavirus, and most importantly, without colonization and these colonizers. Y'all, our work with Hammer City is moving so strong. We have construction teams working on the Valpini, the hammer houses, and all these other important structures like the root cellars and like building rainwater harvesting systems. Like, and the entire organization is working on this project. Like, it is like, as someone who is in the organization and getting to watch this work, this is like collective work in action. Hammer City is like exemplifies the power of Black Hammer and the power of unity and collective brilliance. However, like everything else, it needs resources. Last week, we managed to raise over $1,200 for Hammer City. And this week, that is why I upped our goal from 1,000 to 1,200. And I know that we're probably gonna hit like 1,300 or 1,400. But yes, it is time to donate. So I better see everyone pull out their phones or like open up your laptop, wherever you have your donation apps, and let's get ready to donate. So the way that you can donate is by going to Cash App, Venmo, or DonorBox. Those are like the 3 platforms that we're using for donations. On Cash App, you can type in hashtag BuildHammerCity. On Venmo, it is at BuildHammerCity. And our DonorBox is just donorbox.org/BuildHammerCity. You can go to any of these platforms and donate. Tell us in the comments why you want to donate. And then once, you've made your donation or you've decided how much you want to donate, drop it in the comments so I can shout you out and let the world know that you, an amazing colonized person, support Hammer City. Or if you are a colonizer, pay reparations and help us build this city. All right. And I know that some of y'all have these comments coming in, but I do have some exciting news to share. So can we go to the next slide, please? Y'all, we hit the 70K mark today. I'm just so excited. Like, I was just, doing the calculations, adding up all these donations, and we hit the 70K mark less than a year, and we have raised 70,000 for building Hammer City, right? And I think we can very easily get this to 71,000 tonight, at least. So please keep donating, please keep sharing. Obviously, like we could not have hit 70K without the unity and the support that we have from the colonized masses, because yeah, we don't have any like weird like billionaire donors. Our donors are colonized people who donate $1, $5, $10, whatever they can. And that's what has gotten us this far. That really shows you like how united Black Hammer is with the colonized masses. They recognize us as their servants, and that's just so, so, so important. So yeah, please go out on our donor box, check out that 70,000 number. I love looking at it. I've been looking at it all day. And if you're donating on donor box, make sure to leave a comment so you can tell everyone why you believe in Hammer City. All right. So I'm going to start calling out these donations. I have so many messages, which means that there's hella donations, and I love that. So Comrade Petunia donated $20. Chief Sante matched their donation and also got $20. Chief Yabe got 44 from a colonizer. Chief Yabe's reparations game is always strong. Everyone learn from them. Chief Dio got 50. Chief Uchi got 5. Chief Watakame is pledging $20 by Friday. Chief Savvy is pledging 30 for tomorrow. Comrade Yellow Scarf is donating 25. Comrade Cody X sent $50. Lamback, I love that. Okay, Chief Addy is pledging 4.44 for tomorrow. Yes, make sure that you celebrate in these YouTube comments. Let these haters know that we have hit 70K. No matter how much they hate on us, they cannot stop colonized unity. They cannot stop colonized brilliance. They cannot stop colonized people getting their liberation back. Amanita got $20. Chief I got 15. Comrade Tate is pledging 7 by tonight. Chief Amalicha got 10. Chief Oju got 30. Chief Churo got 5. Chief Sunny got 20. Chief Ture is donating 20. Chief Novi is donating 35. $50 in reparations from Reset on YouTube. Yep, I better see Reparation Corps in here. Reparation Corps, y'all know what the drill is. Empty out your pockets and ask your family and friends to do the same, because this is building colonized liberation. Comrade Karma is pledging $15. Thank you, Comrade Karma. Chief Thru is giving $20. $50 in reparations from Executive on YouTube. Chief Taliba got $5. And then Missouri chapter is also donating $5 to us. Thank you so much, Missouri chapter. Comrade A Mercedes got $15. Comrade Mazal Teotli got $15. I feel like I butchered that, so make sure you tell me if I got it right in the comments, comrade. I do want to get everyone's names right. We want to respect all of us. $20 in reparations from Sarcophagus on YouTube. Chief Fatih got $50. Chief Nopal got 5. Comrade Nia got $10. 25 from Chief Afeni. Oh, $25 from California. Thank you so much, California chapters. Y'all keep these donations coming in. Like, don't you want to surpass the 1,200 goal? I know us hammers, we love surpassing ourselves. We love setting ambitious goals and then going way further than we thought we could. So make sure that you are sharing this link, share our donor box, share the link to this rally. Tell people in your life about Hammer City. Make sure you are posting about this on Facebook right now. Yeah, like make sure you go to your Facebook groups, your Twitter, your Instagram, share the YouTube link and tell people to donate to Hammer City. And once you do that, I want to see shared, like hashtag shared in these comments, because like I've said before, building Hammer City is going to be a collective effort. I can't be the only one calling for donations. All my comrades have to help me. So make sure you are on your social media, sharing and telling the world about Hammer City. Comrade Feriana got $10. Chief Ina got $30 on it. Y'all keep these donations coming in. I do not like how slow this is. Come on. Like, we hit 70K and y'all don't wanna take it further. Like, we've raised 70K. That just shows us that if more and more of us are willing to put our money in our liberation, put our resources, put our time in our liberation, we can raise so much more, because building a city is not cheap. I don't like, maybe this is like not clear, but building a city is not at all cheap, y'all. There is costs involved with every single thing. And it's not gonna happen unless we have the donation. So make sure that you are donating, you are sharing, you are pledging. All right, I see that I want some more people to donate. So 20 from Chief Oju, 44.44 from Comrade Lee. Chief Maya got 20. Comrade Dio got 20. Comrade Petunia got 30. Chief Oju, 50 in reparations from Reset on YouTube. Thank you so much. Keep on donating, y'all. And you don't have to donate these big numbers. Like, I understand that, you know, we're colonized, the economy is falling apart. We don't have that many resources at hand. But even $1, $2, $3, all of that, like, when 140 people donate $1, that's $140, right? And that's no small amount of money. So make sure you're sending whatever you can. I mean, you were gonna spend, like, you know, you were probably gonna spend that money on, like, I don't know, something frivolous, getting your DoorDash, your Uber Eats. Maybe you're gonna spend it on your Spotify subscription. Make sure you're spending it on Hammer City. You can use Spotify free, all right? Make sure that all that money is coming to Hammer City. Don't give any more money to those nasty ass colonizers. They don't need it, but we need it. All right, so Comrade Tate is pledging $3 more. Chief Endu got 5. Chief I got 5. Chief Dio just said the tax return is going to Hammer City. We are going to hold you accountable on that. Economic development, take note of that. We need to hit up Chief Dio, make sure that they get their tax return to us. Yes, donate that guacamole money. $11 from Chief Ren. $100 in reparations from Recruit A. $5 from Comrade Sebastian. Like I said, you can donate $1, you can donate $2, anything you can. And if you cannot donate, just share as many times as you want to donate. Like, if you wanted to donate $10, then share 10 times on Facebook, share 10 times on Twitter, you know, message 10 people about Hammer City and tell them about this amazing project that we're doing that needs their help. $40 from Oh My Ghazi on YouTube, all right, and 5.55 by Friday from Chief Itza on YouTube. Y'all, I feel like I'm gonna get kicked off any second. I do wanna, you know, get some more donations in. So keep donating, but in the meantime, can we go to the last slide, please? I just wanna say thank you to everyone who donated and shared tonight. I've said it a million times before, Hammer City is a collective project. This would not happen without the collective brilliance of the Black Hammer organization and all of our supporters. So if you have ever donated to Hammer City, if you have ever shared our campaign, you are part of this project, like you are part of this victory. Now, if you want to help raise money for Hammer City, fundraise for PPE and food programs, and help us build dual contending economic power for colonized people, join Economic Development Committee. We are working on so many cool projects. Like, if you are the kind of person who's interested in cryptocurrency, stocks, I know that there's hella people who are into Forex. Come on in, like, this is the place. Like, use that knowledge and all of that to help make money for the revolution, help serve colonized people. And the way you do that is by emailing us at bhoeconomicdevelopment@protonmail.com. Just tell us what you're interested in, and we'll give you a role and we'll give you work to do, because there is so much work to do. All right, y'all. So I think it's time for me to go. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone who donated. And I will see y'all next week. Lamb back.
Land back. Damn, y'all hammers want to be free. Them numbers do not lie. Salute to all y'all that donated. We hit 70K. I'm so critical. We hit 70K, 70K, y'all. That's what's up. I know we are going to get to 100K so soon. And then by, next thing you know, we are at that 500K mark, okay? We just got to keep pushing, to keep donating your $1, your $50 that you get every now and then, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get there real soon. This is what colonized unity does, y'all, because we are all poor and working class over here. We know it don't come easy. This is a testament to the power we are creating here at Black Hammer, okay? Moments like this, I think about Hammer City and I can't help but think how powerful it's going to be. Not only are we building a city, but did y'all know that we got a bunch of events and shows that be popping off during the week? Giving us the rundown of this week is my amazing leadership, Chief Afeni, our Chief of Culture. Land back.
Land back, comrades. Yes, I see y'all in these comments. Show out for the haters, comrades. Show them exactly what colonized unity looks like. And if you really want to take a dive, a deep dip into colonized unity, let us hit you with these amazing announcements. All right, this is the Black Hammer Organization, events and shows and more. All right. First up, this Thursday, May 27th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our amazing movie trap, and it's going to be Layla Khaled, Hijacker. And you really want to tune into this because we're going to lay down some slick political education that's all about just what we talked about today, supporting Palestine, being in unity with Palestine. Solidarity is not enough. And Layla is going to lay it out and tell you exactly why. It's going to be hosted by the amazing Chief Isma and Sergeant Haney. Get it? Y'all better be there. All right, and then Friday, who is ready to party with me? On May 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's time to climb aboard, all aboard the Mad Mothership. We got amazing hammer-made music just for you coming out of the Mad Hammers. We're talking about music, acting, and dance. You don't want to miss this. It is going to be a party. Yes, Mad Mothership. And then, of course, every single Sunday, we have our mandatory political education for all of our members. It is time for the Revolutionary Book Trap. And it's going to be May 30th, 11 a.m. Eastern Data Time. And we're going to be kicking off a brand new book, okay? We got Samora Michelle, an African revolutionary. And remember, this is mandatory for all members. Political education is key. It is what develops us and makes us keep going out here and completing our action items because it ties us to the greater goal. And the greater goal is revolution, baby. And it's going to be hosted by the amazing Chief Fatih and the Chief of Membership, Chief Aday. Ooh, you know it's going to be good. They be laying it out. Fatih, curriculum, ooh, about to get our minds blown. And then on Monday, May 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern Data Time, we have a really great panel discussion brought to you by our amazing hammers who are over the Reparations Corps. If you are a colonizer and you're watching this, sign up for the Reparations Corps. You need to be on the right side of history. And this panel discussion is going to be all about no tears shed for the pigs. None of us. And you're going to hear straight from the mouths of your own people why they unite with the Black Hammer Organization. Because we are doing what? Changing history. And that's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 31st. You better be there. It's going to be on Facebook and YouTube Live. Hit us up. And then, of course, every Monday, pouring us that revolutionary tea. And we're talking about this Monday, May 31st. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got the amazing Commander-in-Chief Oh my golly! And all of our favorite comrades. We're talking about the girlies, the swirlies, everybody giving us that revolutionary drip. And you do not want to miss it, okay? You better be there. I'm gonna be looking for you. Where you at? And if you are excited about all of these amazing events, shows, political education series, we need you to join the Culture Committee. We are looking for graphic artists. We're looking for singers. We're looking for dancers. We're looking for entertainers. We're looking for people who are excited to share their culture with the people because it is not enough. Like our political education we just read with How 90K Trash, it's not enough for us to just be like, oh, I'm tapping into my culture. I'm doing it for myself. No, you got to do it for the people. You got to make it revolutionary because even our culture has been stolen from us by these colonizers. And it's time that we take it back and we do it in a revolutionary manner. So if you are ready to join us, hit us up. BHO Culture Department at protonmail.com and join colonizers. You see that saltine. You know you a saltine. You look in the mirror every day and you see the salt on your face. Join the Reparations Corps so you can finally rejoin humanity and be on the right side of history. For what? It's easy. I promise. It's not hard. You can ask them. They love it. All right, you join at blackhammer.org/reparations. And if you is colonized, you know, beautiful, melanated, indigenous, African, Asian, or level colonized masses, join at blackhammer.org/join and get your revolution today. It's liberation over here, baby. I don't know what you're doing over there. All right, y'all, land back. Let's get to this rally.
Land back. Thank you, Chief Athani, for always just being such an amazing presenter. Your energy is just so infectious. And again, join the Culture Department if you want to be a part of creating this new revolutionary culture through our events and shows. I better see y'all at these events. Okay, invite your friends, invite your family. And up next, we are going to hear from the one that be running the ship, the one that be giving us a status to the streets, to make sure that we continue being the baddest anti-colonial revolutionary organization in the game. Secretary General Anko with the State of the Rebellion. Land back.
Land back, everyone. I am super excited to be back and speaking to all y'all. A lot has happened since the last time I was laying out where things are out on the streets. So first and foremost, I want to talk about Palestine. And first on Palestine, I want to talk about white Jews. Because we always, as an organization, consistently over the past year, have been criticizing white Jews from Israel to the United States of America to so-called Australia and everywhere else that they exist and their position within this society as a colonizer. And we have gotten a lot of flack for that, a lot of pushback from other white people for calling other white people white. It has been a consistent thing for the past year. But I think now I can say with full confidence that Black Hammer has been leading the charge against colonizers, specifically white Jews. Is that now the politic is starting to seep into the mainstream. Is that this is understood as a common fact now. But never has there been a more prime opportunity to expose how white Jews have assimilated into white power despite their historical oppression. And also, I just want to say another thing. Just because other white people didn't think you were white doesn't mean that was the case for all colonized people. If I picked up any white Jew back in 1940 and placed their ass in Uganda, how do you think they would have moved through that society? What colonial luxuries would have been offered to them? They're white. And that isn't a slur. That isn't anti-Semitic. That is the position that they play within this society. And so many of these so-called white leftists, communists, whatever, liberals struggle with this deeply. But I also want to remind y'all that right after the Holocaust, 580,000 Holocaust survivors left Germany to colonize Palestine. 580,000 came to fight, to kill, to murder, and to rape Palestinian people. That is the position that they have always played. And just because Nazis didn't think you were white doesn't mean your relationship to me, a colonized person, doesn't make you not white. But here we are now in the United States of America, at least some of us are. And this is where we got to start considering, what do we do? What do we do about Palestine, about all occupied nations? We have to bring them to unity against colonialism. Because there's this Angela Davis politic out here that she often likes connecting Palestine and the African struggles here in the United States. And although that struggle is true, it isn't because of just a police state. It is shallow analysis. It is colonialism. And that same theoretical analysis of colonialism, and not through abolition in the carceral state, brings you to the unity of the rest of the colonized world, not just those two. Because if you can understand what's happening in Palestine is active colonialism, what happens to Africans here in the United States of America as colonialism, and everywhere else, you now recognize a common factor. You can then identify neo-colonial puppets, the sellouts of your community, and realize the same boot that is on the neck of Palestinians is the same boot that is on the Kashmiris in India, the same boot that is on our neck in the United States of America. It's the same struggle, but we can't be shallow with it, comrades. You have to go to the root, the deep, deep root, which is colonialism. And this Zionist project, this white power project, started in the 1880s at the same time as the rest of the scramble for Africa. But Israel specifically wanted a nation for themselves without the exploitation of the indigenous Palestinians. Meaning Israel was solely created to kill Arabs, and even get this, they had a whole plan to kill off all Palestinian Arabs, to then import Ethiopian Jews, and now we see that they're sterilizing Ethiopian Jews and Ugandan Jews in Israel. It has always been a white power nation, a white power state. For God's sake, it was backed up by the British Empire and the United States of America. That alone should tell you what this colonial project is. But we can't be so soft to our enemy anymore. You got to call it like it is. They are literally droning, bombing, torturing, raping, stealing as we speak. But y'all clutch your pearls when I call you white? Nope, nope, nope. The revolution got harder things coming for these kinds of people. I promise you that. And things are only going to get harder, comrades. The economy is crumbling. There is a global pandemic that is not getting better with vaccine. There is a brewing world war. We're already in a Cold War. There is different contending superpowers right now, revitalizing their nuclear programs. We have to start thinking a bit bigger than just protests. And I think this recent resistance in Palestine really showed that. The continual biting away at your enemy, like a flea on top of a dog. You're going to start draining your enemy. You're going to start bringing out that vitality that it has. It can't keep it up forever. And the United States, Miss Things, she's broke. So is Israel. They're both artificial economies backed up by finance capital, which isn't real money. We're in a prime position now, comrades, to build power, build a system for ourselves, not just protest and demand the white man and all of their lackeys to start caring for us. Why? Why do that? Why just do that? Why not build our own dual contending power where we can defend ourselves, we can educate ourselves, we can feed ourselves, we can take care of our bodies ourselves? And that's what we see now in that resistance in Palestine. But like all resistance, there's a chance, a 50-50, that it collapses back into the cycle of what has been, or it ruptures away into revolution. And I want to say, protest isn't the key that changes it from this to that. It's your ability to then organize the people and unify them against your oppressor and to take power. And that's the stage we're at in Comrades. You see, there's many outbursts, protests, rebellions all across the country, all across the world. But I'm sure at some point you've asked yourself, why haven't they gone somewhere yet? It's because there hasn't been a leading body to unify those people under one cause. And that is us, Black Hammer. That is our entire objective moving forward, is to lead the people as a unified body to take what is ours, our land back, our everything back. I cannot imagine, and I won't imagine, doing this for another 600 years, having to see another genocide, having to witness the horrors of colonialism. Comrades, can you do that for another 600 years? I can't even do it another day. And that's where you got to win the masses of people who aren't politically in line or even aware of what's going on in the world. You have to speak to them. You have got to speak to them. That is the masses of the people. The masses of the people of the world are in such a level of oppression. This kind of discussion, this information doesn't cross their mind. They have to figure out how to eat, how to shelter themselves, how to live. But you, comrades, as a revolutionary, you have the time and you have the knowledge. And how dare you not share it at every moment you have? What is going on in the world? How dare you not bring revolution to every single colonized person you meet? How often is it that someone has come up to you and said, comrade, friend, brother, sister, sibling, I know what it's going to take to get us free and I can help you do it. Colonized people don't get that. Be that person. Join Black Hammer to be that person. Because it's not just war and economy crashing that is at stake. We're in the middle of a climate crisis as well. One that we can't afford to lose on. None of humanity can afford to lose on that. But the climate devastation, destruction, was started with colonialism. Do y'all understand that? Colonialism. When the Spanish left their nasty little islands, their little so-called continent, to go to Pachamama, South America, to steal all the gold and oil, to then go to Africa and start the slave trade. That was one of the greatest disruptions of ecological systems that have ever happened. Colonialism has started all of this. And so just organizing around police brutality, just organizing about higher wages, just organizing around housing, just organizing around one thing will not get you liberation. And it won't even get you the things that you think you're organizing around. You have to go for the root. You have to stab at the organs. You got to go for the heart. That is what history has shown us. So don't let these liberal organizers, these so-called communist organizers, distract you from the real cause. It's to build power. It's to build self-determination. It's to seize our liberation. And anyone up there on a stage in front of a crowd speaking different, saying we need community control of the clan, saying we need these kinds of reforms, asking some senator, asking to sign up here or there. No. That is never what has gotten us free. The dedication, the servitude to help the colonized poor working class of the world, serving them and building power for them. That is how you will see your liberation. You have always got to see it like that, comrades, because there's going to be a lot of distractions out there. I promise. The decadence of a petty bourgeois individual life, the tantalizing checks that the liberals start throwing at you, the nonprofits that start offering you jobs, the colony telling you to come back to be safe. These are all there. And the state, the colonial state has designed it all for that reason, to keep you busy. But I'm gonna tell you, those 40 hours you work at your job are not 40 hours that go to your people. 40 hours in Black Hammer goes to the people, to you. You see the fruits of your labor. And the whole world has to as well. So I just wanna say, comrades, during the summer, during this year, stay focused on building power. Nothing else should cross your mind other than, I want power for me and my people. Because $15 an hour isn't going to stop the colonizer from cutting off my people's hands in coca fields in Bolivia. And it won't stop the horrors of your people either. So with that, comrades, death to Israel and land back.
Oops, so critical, y'all. Couldn't hear me. Land back, Secretary General Anko. Yes, do not waste your time at these protests, my people. Take your rage and use it as fuel to attack the root of all this hell, colonialism. That's what we are doing right here every day. We are all servants of the people. Go to blackhammer.org/join and join Black Hammer. That was such a powerful state of the rebellion. And now it's time to meet all of the new folks in the building today. Let's get into our membership call with our Chief of Worldwide Membership, Chief Ade. Land back.
Land back. I am so excited, y'all. This rally has been so amazing. And so I know all of our new members are really excited to introduce themselves. The way we introduce ourselves at Black Hammer is we give our name, which is your revolutionary name, not your government name. Don't get caught up in these streets. You give your nation, and by your nation, we don't mean the colonizer nation that you live in, but the colonized nation that represents your ancestors. And then finally, you give your pronouns that you use so we can address you properly. So I'll give myself a sample while all of y'all, all our new members, our first-time attendees, drop an X in that Zoom chat so I can introduce you, and I'll introduce myself in the way that we do it. My name is Chief Ade. I represent the nations of Africa and Turtle Island, and I use she, they pronouns. All right, now that you've gotten that introduction, once you drop your X, I'm going to call out your name. We're going to give you about 2 minutes to introduce yourself, but once you hear that sound, you realize that that's enough. We got to cut it. You'll have plenty of time to introduce yourselves in our after party after you join, and plenty of time to introduce yourselves in all our new chats. So go ahead, all our new members. If it's your first time at a rally, go ahead and drop that X. I see we got some already. Comrade Fry, go ahead and introduce yourself. Land back.
Hey, land back. So I'm Comrade Fry. It's pronounced Free. It's okay. And the nation that I represent is Mexico and the Philippines, since I'm mixed. And yeah, I found Black Hammer through the internet. No one showed me specifically. I just kind of found it through the Oh My Ghazi show and watched more of the streams and pretty much thought like, oh, this is like pretty much what I've been standing for like my whole entire life. So yeah, I have more of a background with organizing, with art and activism. I'm an artist myself. I used to curate galleries that center the voices of queer and transgender people of color, centering their voices, resisting against white supremacy, racism, queerphobia, transphobia. So I'd like to bring my art organizing magic to here. Also want to challenge myself in outreach too. So yeah.
Land back, that is what we love to hear, comrade. And it sounds like we have a new visual propaganda member. So go ahead and drop that email in the chat, y'all. And make sure you contact that comrade so we can get them into that office right away. We need to get those skills to work for the people. All right. Who else is up? I want to introduce all of our new comrades. Please don't be shy. We are so friendly and so warm. Drop an X in the chat so you can introduce yourselves. We want to bring you into revolution today. And I know we got a lot of new faces out there. I can see them all. So who else? Go ahead and drop an X in the chat. Land back.
And that's right. Thank you, Chief Oju. Even if it's your first time and you already joined and you're already a hammer, drop an X so we can introduce you. We want to make sure we highlight all of our new members and make sure you feel nice and welcome here in this revolutionary space. All right. I'm not seeing any X's in the chat, so it's looking like I'm going to have to start calling new people. Land back. That's right. I know we do have some new hammers out there. Land back. Okay, here's a couple of comrades we can go through. Comrade Seal Wife, can you please unmute? We'd love to introduce you. Comrade Seal Wife. Land back. Okay, I see another X. Comrade Pudika, and please, I apologize. Correct me if I mispronounce your names, comrades. Land back.
Hi, Land back. I am Pudika, and I am from Mexico. My pronouns are she, her. And that's it for now.
Land back. We appreciate you introducing yourselves. And what brought you here today?
My partner is actually already in the organization, so I finally decided to join.
Land back. Thank you so much, comrade. We really appreciate you coming here. And we appreciate your partner for pulling you in as well. All right. I'm going to keep going. Comrade Sadiq, can you please unmute yourself? Comrade Sadiq, land back.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had to respond. Someone was reaching out to invite me to the rally right now. My pronouns are he, him. I did that right. And I actually tried I went to a couple of the rallies before deciding to try to join and be a part of the organization. And I hadn't seen a group of people so positively focused and organized.
Land back. Well, we really appreciate you joining, and we want to make you a part of those positively influenced, organized masses, okay? So let's make sure we message that comrade and get them pulled in and coordinated, okay? Land back. Up next, we have Comrade Kijuma. Can you please unmute?
Hey, that's me. Wait, am I unmuted? I don't know if this works.
Yes, you are.
Okay, cool. I think this is my second time. I joined late, like last week. But yeah, my name's KJ. I'm representing the nation of Panama, Jamaica.
Land back. Comrade, can you struggle to put your camera on? We'd love to see you. Show us that beautiful face.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
I've never used Zoom before, so give me a second. Where? Oh, damn.
It's usually a little camera in the bottom left there. Land back.
Hi. Hello. How's it going?
Land back, so just give us your name, nation, and your pronouns, and real quick, why you joined us tonight.
My pronouns are like he or they. My name's KJ, and I joined. Well, I mean, I guess I joined personally because like this is a really dope group of people. I've just like been following a lot of you guys on Instagram, and I really like the messages that I see. It's just really empowering. So it's exciting to be here. And yeah, representing the nation of Panama and Jamaica.
Land back, we so appreciate you joining us tonight. I know our agitprop is on it, and I'm really happy that our Instagram is what pulled you in. Land back. All right, up next we have Comrade Janine. Comrade Janine, can you unmute yourself, please? Land back, we can keep it moving. All right, Comrade Nuna. Comrade Nuna, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, my name is Comrade Nuna. I just joined today. Mostly here to do some learning and do some decolonizing. Pronouns are she, her, and I represent the nation of Ecuador, hence my name, Nuna, which means spirit and soul in Quechua. Excited to learn with y'all.
Land back, that is a really beautiful name, and we're really excited to have you here. Okay, up next we have Comrade Abigail. Comrade Abigail, you have the floor. Abigail? All right, we can move it on to Comrade Kilo. Comrade Kilo. Going once, going twice for Kilo. Okay, next comrade, we have Comrade Jean, or maybe Jean. Please excuse me if I'm incorrect. Land back. All right, it seems that those comrades aren't connected to audio. So that is everybody that I have to introduce today. If anybody else wants to drop an X, it is not too late. Please feel free, drop an X in that chat. We want to meet you. We want to give you a chance to introduce yourself and uplift you. See where we can put you in the organization. Okay, we have one more comrade here, Comrade Ru Amble. Land back.
Oh, I tried to unmute, but am I unmuted?
Yes, you are, comrade.
Oh,
there you are.
Hey.
Hey.
Land back, and I go by Comrade Rambo. Rambo is a combination of Rambo Thunder and to Rambo. I do Rambo a lot. I represent the nation of Africa, and I joined Black Hammer because I live on a settler colony, and I wanted to do something about that. But I do organize outside of this settler colony that I live on. And back.
Land back. I love that energy. That is what we like to hear. Anybody who's against the settler colony is with the hammers. Okay. All right, y'all. I think that's everybody that we have to introduce today. I'm so grateful to have introduced all of those wonderful new hammers. And if you're not already a new hammer, please go ahead and sign up. Get on to blackhammer.org/join and come to the revolution. We have a place for you and we have some work for you to get done. Okay. Up next, y'all, I'm really excited to announce our Hammer of the Week this week. This is our hammer who has worked extremely hard this week to pull in their VIPs, work hard within their chapter, and be the best revolutionary cadre member that they can be. And this week it is Comrade Sebastian of the recruitment office. You are working extremely hard, Comrade, and it is showing every single day. Salute to you. Let's show some love to Comrade Sebastian in the comments. We love you, Comrade Sebastian. Land back. Come on. All right, y'all. Now, before I leave you, I do have my recruitment tip of the week. So this week, I want to advise all of our hammers, new and old, to speak your truth. When you're out and speaking to the masses this week, make sure you speak the truth of revolution and how it has changed your life. Speak to them about how becoming a leader has made you a stronger person. Speak to them about how all of the struggles that they face aren't because they're an inherently bad person, but because they are colonized and they face all the struggles that we face as colonized people. Make sure that every time that you're going out to speak with the people that you're not using frilly language, that you're speaking your truth. And finally, go out and proudly spread the message of what it means to really be one to revolution. Pull our people in. We have a place for them and remind them that we're here to welcome them with open arms. That's all I got for you all this week. Land back and thank you so much. And if you're interested in joining membership, make sure that you email me. We are bhmembership@protonmail.com. If you're a talkative person, if you love to call your friends and just be on the phone for hours, I think I have a spot for you. Land back.
Land back. Yes. Thank you, Chief Ade. So many new comrades in the building. Thank you so much for coming out here. And please, please, please get in touch with your leadership. And then you can go ahead and discover all the different things we got going on in the org, okay? We're gonna fit you right in, just like Chief Ade said. All right, y'all. So up next, we're gonna be hearing from our Chief of Gardens, Chief Itza, who's gonna be telling us what we got growing, because if y'all didn't know, we got gardens all over the world, okay? So Chief Itza, take it away, land back.
I'm back, self-critical, y'all. My Wi-Fi, we are poor working class, so my Wi-Fi wants to fight me all the time. But yes, my name is Chief Itza, and I'm here to present this week's campaigns report. If you can move it. Yes, so I'd love to introduce myself to all colonized people watching right now. My name is Chief Itza. I'm representing the colonization of Mexico, reconnecting to the Zapotec people of Oaxaca, and I use they, them pronouns. I just sprinted over here to get this beautiful lighting, so y'all give me a second. Anyways, but I'd love to introduce our amazing committee. We are dedicated to helping colonized people worldwide develop fruitful gardens in order to build our own dual contending anti-colonial food system. Our food system is dedicated to healing the land and feeding colonized people worldwide. Next slide, please. We know that there will never be justice on stolen land, and this is undoubtedly connected to the industrial agricultural system. We know that there will never be justice. And as colonized people, we know that our destinies are intertwined. As outlined before by CIC, as Hamas had a revolutionary victory in 2006, white power gripped its dirty hand around us globally. And a modern egregious example of this is the food crisis of 2007 to 2008, where colonized people worldwide rose up as they were being starved and exploited to feed white power. We know that there's nothing to lose and everything to gain when we attain our liberation. And white power knows this, as it had to continue to steal our land, labor, lives, and resources through imperialistic transnational corporations like Monsanto and colonial institutions like the IMF and World Bank to save itself. We know, as we outlined in our third principle of unity, that everything that plagues colonized people worldwide is colonialism and neocolonialism. And the neocolonialists of our nation have sold our beautiful and productive land for nearly nothing. Like in one case in Africa, where a 49-year lease was signed for the unconditional, no restrictions on the exploitation of 400,000 hectares of land for a merely $25,000. $25,000 for 400,000 hectares of land. Okay, you just get so caught up on this, y'all. And these corporations steal our land and our production and then return our loot through food aid, making us more dependent on our oppressor and robbing us from the birthright to food sovereignty, to the birthright to tend to the land and be reconnected to our creator. When white power expands and monopolizes its means on food production, this only means more death to colonized people worldwide, as they dictate, as colonizers dictate, who lives and who dies, depriving us, the colonized masses of the world, one of our most central resources, food. As we know, white power destabilizes our colonized nations through economic warfare, the outright assassination of our revolutionary leaders, and the installation of neocolonial sellouts. Worldwide, we are physically, sexually, and mentally abused in order to feed the settler colonial nations that have enacted our genocide for 600 years. This ends now. Next slide, please. Yes, and here is a visual to really outline, we know that we are inclusive in Black Hammer's second principle of unity, and we know that there's different types of ways to learn, and here's a visual, there's auditory, and here's the second visual. It's a cycle. Colonialism must take from the land. Colonialism necessitates the abuse of the land and all colonized life. It had to create industrial agriculture to take forcefully and abuse the land for more than it could produce. Industrial agriculture, as we know, leads to also climate chaos. This is all cause for the imperialistic gain of all colonized life, or imperialistic gain for these white power institutions. And as, for example, climate chaos, as we pointed out earlier, it also displaces us, not only steals it through corporations, but it displaces us through climate chaos. We have no choice but to leave our land. We have literally no choice but to leave. So we are exploited and displaced. And when we leave the settler colonial nations, we are exploited in the settler colonial nations in which we migrate to. Next slide, please. However, there is a solution for this, and Black Hammer Garden Committee is dedicated to leading the way of food sovereignty. With established gardens in Turtle Island and Africa, we are expanding and only expanding. Black Hammer Garden Committee is not playing games with the lives of our people, but you already know that. The Garden Committee is dedicated to building a dual contending food system where we live in harmony with the land, where we live in harmony with our other life relatives like the birds and the bees. We are all connected, we are all nature. Therefore, there won't be any synthetic pesticides that will harm them as well. There will be no food waste and no abusive agricultural practices. Like, this is our history. We have been doing this. We as colonized people worldwide literally, literally invented agriculture. Like, who was, I digress. So we are only picking up where our amazing ancestors left off. This is in our blood, this is in our DNA. Like, reconnecting to the land is dangerous, and they know that. They know that when we are reconnected to the land, we can begin to attain our own liberation. Additionally, the Garden Committee is developing educational resources, such as building guides to how to build your own compost, and grow guides like, I want to grow tomatoes. Oh, here's a grow guide. Here's step-by-step on how to care for your tomato plant, and troubleshooting ideas and things like that. It's very detailed, it's developing, and educational resources on herbalism and foraging. And coming soon, in July 2021, we are coming out with Sprout Kids. The amazing thing about our Sprout Kids is that we know that as colonized people, we have been dispossessed of our land. So a lot of colonized people don't have access to physical land to, grow their food. And this is an amazing way to begin to develop our food sovereignty and detach from the colony. And the amazing thing about these Sprout Kits is that when you buy one, colonizer or colonized, a colonized person gets one for free. So that is an amazing incentive to buy our Sprout Kits, coming soon in July 2021. Next slide, please. Yes, and if you're a colonized person and want to start a garden but don't know where, fill out our Google form at tinyurl.com/bhgardens interest form, and we will get you started ASAP, because Black Hammer will be ready when this colonial food system collapses. And if you want to contribute to this brilliance, this colonized brilliance, join us. Email us at joincampaigns@gmail.com and add to this brilliance and build the dual contending food system that all colonized people deserve. Yes. And we will close this campaigns report with a video by Chief Ina, a COVID tip video. Because we know that if we're not safe from COVID, if we die from COVID, we can't free our people, we can't free the land. Starty, land back, everybody.
Land back, this is Chief Ina, and this is this week's COVID-19 report. Last Thursday, the director of the CDC said that people who were fully vaccinated no longer needed to wear masks or socially distance. To support these claims, they cited a few studies that used less than 10,000 participants each. There's 330 billion people in the States. The largest nurses union in the country came out against the new CDC guidances, saying that the newest measures do not protect public health and are not based in science. Despite growing political pressures to continue to push vaccinations, there is nothing proving that it is safe to resume business as usual. The science is clear. Continue to wear masks that protect against viral particles, continue to socially distance, and follow our protocols on our website, blackhammer.org/COVID-19 basic. Remember, we're still in the midst of the deadliest pandemic of the century. And that wraps up our COVID-19 news of the week. Land back.
Land back. Yes, Chief Ina. Love those TikTok videos. Very informative, life-saving information, y'all. Thank you so much for that COVID tip, Chief Ina. And thank you so much, Chief Itza, for putting all that work in them gardens. I can't wait to get my sprouts kit. Ooh, yes, display of the garden, of the plant pot. It's beautiful. We really appreciate you and all the work that you do. Again, if y'all want to join some garden work, go ahead and hit up campaigns, y'all. All right, so another thing that's really important for growing or saving lives, right, is water. Our comrades over at the International Science and Technology Committee are working tirelessly to make sure our people have clean water, something that is our birthright, just like our land, that the state does everything they can to take away from us. But enough of me talking about it. Next, we have Chief Kathunson, who is going to tell us all about the water project that's coming out of the Science and Technology Committee. Land back.
Real quick, I'm gonna open it up. I'm Chusa. I represent the nation of Korea. I'm the internationally elected chief of science and technology. I just wanted to open it up and say that the genocide of colonialism leaves absolutely nothing untouched. We know through the theme of this rally being focused on the struggle of Palestinians for self-determination on their own land. Only 4% of Palestinians under the illegitimate Israeli occupation have access to water at all. We know that colonialism loots, commercializes, steals, capitalizes off, and even poisons water. We know this all too well when we look to our beloved comrade Chief Eyes. We saw his picture during the song that Chief Dio sang us. And you can ask Chief Saliba about him. She will tell you all about him. He was a brilliant revolutionary, and he was murdered by the water that was poisoned by the state and his community that took away his leg and eventually took away his life. And the people in that chapter of Black Hammer and the people in that overall community, the colonized people, are still drinking that water every day. We know that only power, organization, and colonized unity can overturn something as huge as colonialism poisoning water all over the world. When we heard about this, we made sure as science and technology to get filters and tablets to our comrades in the Missouri chapter, but that is only a temporary solution. So we are now inventing a reverse osmosis filtration system, inventing it ourselves from scratch to distribute for free to colonized communities. And I want to introduce our brilliant, powerful, profound genius chief of the research subcommittee who is leading this project, Chief Kathunson, to show you exactly what we're doing. But before that, I do want to encourage everyone to donate to the Cash App hashtag BHO SciTech. That's BHO SCITECH. And you are about to see exactly what it is that we are doing with all your money. We know that colonized people, don't got money like that, but we promise that every cent you send to us will be returned a millionfold when we get this water clean to keep our people alive, to usher in the revolution. Land back, Chief Kathunson, take it away.
All right, my name is Chief Kathunson, representing the nation of Africa by way of Ghana, pronouns he, him, and I'm here to tell you guys that your generous donations are being put to good use. We're materially doing good stuff and working towards getting the colonized masses clean water. And you saw like just a snapshot of it. We did buy a reverse osmosis system to like get really hands-on with it and understand how it works, along with like our conceptual research. And most of this time has been spent researching whether it's feasible and whether it's safe for the masses too. There's some contradictions that came up, such as naturally water has mineral in it. Reverse osmosis takes away those minerals. So the solution is to put those minerals back after we finish cleaning the water through remineralization, which a cartridge should just be purchased for that. Or the alternative is just making sure people have high mineral diets. But the first one's probably the most feasible one. Also, sometimes reverse osmosis could use up a lot of water. We are incorporating that into our design of it so that it doesn't run up water bills. So we have begun ordering a few parts. So I have them right here just to show you guys that the donations are being put to good use. So right here, we have a bunch of fittings. These are push to connect fittings that if you put in the tubing, in order to like take out the tubing, you just have to push this down. I'm not going to show you right now, but here's the fittings for the prototype we're about to build. Here's some polyethylene piping. We chose polyethylene piping because it's probably pretty much standard for like transporting water through it. Here's the bread and butter of the reverse osmosis system. This is the reverse osmosis membrane. The case isn't here yet, but pretty much this was really gets out most of the germs and a lot of the bad stuff. Like this is like the that's what the system's named after. So it's named after the reverse osmosis membrane. Also, we have a casing for the sediment and carbon filters. We'll probably put like a adapter right here so we could, excuse me, it's reverse, I apologize. So we could put the tubing in, and there'll be 2 more of these coming in. And also, here's probably the most interesting part right here. So right here, I have a plastic bucket for our prototype. So what this bucket's gonna do is typically reverse osmosis systems come with tanks, pressurized tanks. So I think I explained this at a rally once, but say if you have like 2 channels, right? If this one's blocked, this is where the water's being cleaned. If this one's blocked, water can't come past, and this pathway is like pressurized, so water can't go back in. The only way it could go is like pretty much one way. So that's kind of like the mechanism of reverse osmosis system. So the thing is, you could pressurize anything. So we get some like silicone glue, make sure we like seal this up so no air can get by, drill some holes in it with maybe like kind of like a bike pump, and then maybe like another hole right here so water could come out. And pretty much with the bike pump, we could pump air in it and pressurize it to the point where like once it fills up to a certain point and it gets to a certain pressure, it will there will be a shutoff valve that will cut the water off, and people will be able to access the clean water in this bucket. So it's a plastic bucket. It's a high density polyethylene bucket, but this is just for a prototype. And the reason we would want to use a steel bucket, because if pressure causes force. So this is like my material background. If you apply pressure to something like a lot over time, it eventually is going to deform. Like steel doesn't deform. Like if I tap this like maybe like 100 million times or something like that, it's eventually going to deform by how much force I'm putting over time. Steel has like a longer life. So you probably won't see it, but like over time it will. So that's a cool thing about materials. But yeah, and this is just like an investment, like a tubing cutter. So hopefully we plan on having a prototype in like the next few weeks. So yeah. Thank you. Land back.
Land back. Can I get a land back in the chat for our brilliant head researcher, Chief Kathonson, bringing clean water to the people, making sure the masses are protected from this genocidal system, making sure they have clean water so they can stay alive, to join Black Hammer, to join the revolution, and to get free. Land back, Chief. That is not the only thing we're doing in SciTech, though. if I could go to the next slide, like Chief Itza had laid out in their portion, these colonizers, the only way they can grow food or whatever that unseasoned mess that they call food is.
You know what time things close in town?
Land back. The only way they are capable of doing that is through attacking the land. But we, the colonized masses, are instead taking a page from the book of the indigenous Aymara people of Bolivia and looking to build Walapini greenhouses. So the same thing that the Gardens Committee, Chief Issa, is laying out is doing throughout the chapters of the Black Hammer organization. We, the SciTech Committee, are leading the construction of underground Walapini greenhouses for food sovereignty and food self-determination in Hammer City itself. And Walapini gardens are structures that are mostly underground. And because of that, they are able to retain a optimal growing temperature for all sorts of crops year round. And that's how we're going to be eating in Hammer City. So the comrades in SciTech have been working 24/7 researching how exactly we're going to be able to do this on the 200 acres of land we got in Colorado. So I got Comrade May researching how we're going to ventilate, Comrade Rohan researching how we're going to collect rainwater, Comrade Shorn is looking at the materials we're going to use, Comrade Z has put in work looking at the directional information, how we calculate the freeze line, which tells us how far down we dig, and Chief Akata really stole the show and wrote a step-by-step instruction manual on how we physically build these Walapini gardens. We have been putting in work because we are dead serious about the liberation of our people, and we know we need to be able to eat in Hammer City so that we can take this revolution to its final conclusion of victory for colonized masses across the world. Not only that, but also in SciTech, we have our IT subcommittee who's working on a lot of projects to make sure that we are not only cyber secure in this organization, but also building up dual contending power on the front of information technology. So if you would like to join any of these projects or bring your own brilliance and your own ideas to the SciTech Committee, please first obviously join Black Hammer, but email bhoscitech@protonmail.com. I do want to say right before I dip that you need no colonial degree, background, certificates, job experience, none of that. You don't need any of that. You don't need any piece of paper from a white man telling you whether or not you're good enough to do science. We all learn all of this together. As a collective, that's where our power comes from. So if you don't have, the degree that you think you need, I guarantee you, you do not need it. Join SciTech today if you want to use science and technology to serve the people like Chief Cthulhu. Land back.
Land back. Thank you so much. That's so dope, y'all. It's so amazing to thank you to Chief Sa and to Chief Cthulhu over at the Science and Technology Department or Committee. I'm so critical. All this work is so dope, like I said. And salute to all of our chiefs and comrades dedicating their life and using their amazing skills for the people. Yes, y'all. Well, we have made it to the bottom of our agenda. It was an absolute pleasure hosting this rally this evening for y'all. And now it is time for our adjournment message with the Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, the beast of an office that brings y'all the Black Hammer Times, the Black Hammer Org Instagram page, fierce clothes to wear from our BHO Bazaar, dope graphics, curriculum, music, and live shows and events, Chief Sante. Land back, everyone.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Thru, for that amazing intro. Yes, I'm Chief Sante, representing the nations of India and the Philippines. My pronouns are he, they. And yes, I'm the Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, the committee responsible for bringing you these rallies every single Tuesday. So make sure to tune in next Tuesday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was our 51st rally with the theme, No Justice on Stolen Land, because here at Black Hammer, we understand that the land has been stolen from us by these colonizers, and we cannot see the liberation of colonized people until we get the land back. So I want to thank all of our presenters. I want to thank our, curriculum department and our Black Hammer Times news, anti-colonial news apparatus for that amazing political education. And shout out to our Commander-in-Chief and Secretary General for really laying out what is occurring in Palestine and what the poor working class Palestinians need to do, and all poor and working class colonized people from around the world need to do. That is to unite with anti-colonial revolution and win the land back. And thank you to everyone who has joined us for this amazing, amazing Tuesday rally. And thank you so much to everyone that has helped donate towards building Hammer City. And I want to give a little quick drum roll. We have been able to raise $1,112.43. Land mother effing back. Thank you so much to everyone that has donated every single cent, every single dollar.
every single resource that you contribute to this organization goes back towards serving the people. So thank you so much for giving this ability to our comrades to serve the people and serve the land back. And before I adjourn this, I want to let y'all know that we have an after party. This ain't over. We got a live after party karaoke sesh with our very own culture department. All right, if y'all like to sing, if y'all like to dance, if y'all just want to, have some fun with your comrades, make sure to join Black Hammer and become a member today and get into this after party, y'all. Go to blackhammer.org/join and win your liberation today. So I am officially adjourning this Tuesday rally. Can I get everyone to unmute and give a huge land back?
Land back.
Land back.